everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking through one of the treatments that I use on my hair to strengthen it, add a bit of shine, this Olaplex treatment. And it's basically just what I use when my hair starts to feel a bit just dry. So obviously I have bleach in my hair, and so like after a while in between treatments it just starts to feel a little bit dry and weak again, and I notice that it gets a bit knotty, and no matter what I do it's kind of not getting better. So then from time to time I do just need to go in with a treatment, and I have quite a lot of things that I use on my hair, different treatments and oils and masks and all of that sort of stuff. But today I'm just going to be talking you through this Olaplex treatment, how I use it and all of that sort of stuff. So these parts are part 1 and part 2. So this would be the treatment that you would get in the salon, but it is possible to get it at home obviously. I picked it up from Sally's, which is like a trade shop for hairdressers, but Olaplex also brought out part 0 and part 4, which is basically the at-home version of the salon treatment, which is part 1 and 2, and they do like a very similar thing. The first thing that you need to know is that inside your hair you've got something called disulfide, which is made up of sulfur atoms, and the disulfide and the sulfur atoms separate and break when you bleach your hair. So the chemical process breaks apart those bonds, and that's why your hair snaps and it gets weak and it might get like weirdly zigzaggy or frizzy. Olaplex literally gets inside your hair and rejoins the bonds from the inside. I'm gonna read like a brief explanation of how it works because so there are bond multipliers in the Olaplex. The bond multipliers take advantage of the presence of a compound known as disulfide. This compound is composed of sulfur atoms that are connected to form links. When the Olaplex treatment is applied to the hair, it links together the sulfur atoms in the disulfide bond to form strong links that reinforce the hair structure. This ultimately strengthens the hair, leaving it feeling healthier and more resilient than before. So this is what the part 1 looks like. And it just comes with this dispenser here with measurements along the side. And then it comes with 2 little No. 2 treatments, which you put on your hair afterwards as the mask. So basically how much of this you need depends on how exactly you're going to be using it, but it comes with a little like chart guide inside which breaks it all down. Obviously I'm not going to be colouring my hair today, so you can just add it into water. So I'm just using this old spray bottle. I filled it up with 90 ml of water, which is how much you need, and then per 90 millilitres of water you need 15 millilitres of the Olaplex treatment, which is quite a lot. It's far more than you need for when you're putting it in bleach or using it on colour. I think just because it's in the water, like it needs a bit more to actually penetrate the hair. All the rest of them are literally saying like per 60 millilitres you need like 1 millilitre of Olaplex, and today we're going to be using 15, so that is quite a lot. But so because you're just going to spray your Olaplex treatment directly onto clean hair, you want to make sure that you don't have any products in your hair before you start and that your hair is dry. So if usually for like your hair care routine you put oil in your hair the night before you shampoo it or anything like that, definitely don't do that this time, because you don't want to create a barrier in between the Olaplex and your hair, because you want this to really penetrate deeply. This isn't just like a surface treatment, it really gets in deep to your hair. Clean dry hair, and then yeah, just like any spray bottle will do. And then you want 90 ml of water and 15 ml Olaplex. Okay, and just pour that into your water. I rarely dye the underlayer of my hair. I pretty much only really dye this section and this section. I do have some bleach running through here just from a few years ago, but not really. So I will be focusing the majority of the treatment on like the front half of my hair. Also, I forgot to mention, but if you have finer hair than me, if you've got like really fine short hair, you don't need to use the full 90 millilitres of water. You could just half it, or if you've got loads and loads of hair you might need to double it. Just make sure that it's proportionate to the amount of Olaplex that you're adding. Yeah, I'm just going to start spraying that in. These brushes are also really helpful for getting it all the way through your hair. to rinse it off or anything like that. You literally just leave it. Okay, so then I'm just going to leave that to... Oh my god, I'm lit. It's literally like... but yeah, you just leave the part 1 on for a minimum of 5 minutes. You don't have to rinse it off or anything like that. You just go in and add the number 2. So I'm back in 5 minutes. Okay, so it has been 5 minutes. So now I'm just going to go in with my part 2. And I'm going to be quite generous with the amount that I need. The most expensive part of the treatment, to be honest, is this part. Like if you have like a shop that you can get professional products from, you can buy like massive bottles of the part 2 for relatively cheap, but you can't buy the part 1 on its own. You can buy bigger bottles than this, I think, but they always come in a set with part 2. You can't just buy like a massive bottle of part 1. So I feel like if I've used that much of my part 1, which is like the most expensive part of the treatment, I'm not gonna be shy with the part 2. I'm gonna add as much as I need, because otherwise I've just wasted the most expensive. Yeah, you know what I mean. Oh my god, it smells so nice. Obviously I would also usually do this in the bathroom if I wasn't filming, because it's kind of messy. Feels good. Maybe just a little bit more for good measure. Okay, and then again I'm just going to leave that in for 10 minutes. It's a minimum of 10 minutes. I probably will end up leaving it in for a little bit longer. I'm just going to like make some tea and then I'll rinse it off. Also, the longer you leave the Olaplex on, the better. So if you have got like severely damaged hair, you can leave it on for like as long as you want. My hair's not even really that bad, to be honest. I could just leave it on for 10 minutes, but I've just got some stuff to do, so I'll just take it off when I take it off, basically. Probably be back in like 3 days. Okay, so this is it now after I've dried and styled it, and you can just see it has like a really nice shine. It feels really glossy and nice. I have straightened it, so obviously it always feels a little bit glossier and nicer when it's straightened, but I did also make some videos of it when it had just air dried before I'd even brushed it and then after I'd brushed it, and so I'll include them as well so you can actually see what it will look like day to day. But I mean, even still, I feel like the shine that you get on your hair after you've used Olaplex is just like different. But yeah, as I say, I will include the other clips after this, and I hope that you found this helpful. And if you've got any questions, just leave me a comment down below and I'll answer them all. Thank you, bye.